The nuclear reactions occurring within the sun produce energy which reaches the planet Earth. Most of this energy then dissipates into space from Earth. However, if there are heat trapping gases in the atmosphere, these gases retain heat energy around planet Earth that otherwise would have dissipated into space. This is known as the greenhouse effect. And while it is normal, life depends on a certain amount of solar energy being retained around the planet. Increasing the number of gases which retain heat will then change the global temperature. Carbon dioxide is a naturally occurring gas which absorbs heat in the atmosphere. It is a greenhouse gas. Because of human activity, more carbon dioxide is resulting in the atmosphere through activities such as the burning of fossil fuels, which takes carbon which has been buried for millions of years and returns it to the atmosphere and the carbon cycle, but also other activities such as deforestation, which reduce the number of trees and the amount of forested land, which takes carbon out of the air. About a quarter of current atmosphere carbon dioxide has resulted from human activity and has increased since 1959. Every year since 1959, which is when measurements began, atmospheric carbon dioxide levels have hit a record high. Because of human activity, each year has the highest measured level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. From a level of 315 parts per million when records began, carbon dioxide levels have steadily risen, reaching 400 parts per million in the year 2014, and in the year 2025 having an average of 426 parts per million, but reaching a high of 431 parts per million. In the year 2025, a record amount of fossil fuels were burned, producing 38 billion tons of carbon emissions. That was a 1.1% increase from the year 2024. Many countries are trying to limit the growth of their fossil fuel emissions. While China's output remains steady and Europe's output decreased in 2025, the United States increased its emissions by 1.9%. And 2024 was like every year in recent history, where levels of these gases in the atmosphere continued to go up and up and up, reaching record highs. So it is not surprising that the year 2024 held the record for the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the amount of methane in the atmosphere, the amount of nitrous oxide in the atmosphere, the amount of sulfur hexafluoride in the atmosphere, etc., because this could be said for every year previous to that for the past several decades. Prior to this year, 2023 held the record. Prior to 2023, the year 2022 held the record. And as long as the amount of heat trapping gases in the atmosphere continues to go up and up and up, so too will the amount of heat trapped in the atmosphere, and thus global temperature worsening climate change. While methane can be released into the air through natural processes, 60% of atmospheric methane is the result of human activities. And fossil fuel burning, ruminant digestion and the maintenance of cows, and the agriculture of rice paddies continues to add methane to the environment. 2025 saw the record levels of atmospheric methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Nitrous oxide is an even more potent greenhouse gas, and human activities continue to release this into the atmosphere. such as our use of fertilizers, the processing of manure, fossil fuel burning, and industrial production. The year 2025 witnessed the record level of nitrous oxide in the atmosphere. The same is true of other greenhouse gases, such as sulfur hexafluoride, the most potent greenhouse gas known. 2025 witnessed the highest level of sulfur hexafluoride in the atmosphere. Thus, the record levels of greenhouse gases, most produced from human activities, not only means that the threat of climate change will continue, it will actually worsen, given that the records of previous years have been broken in 2025, the year in which the greatest levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere were reached.